In this video session, I'm going to show you how to get signed into Nearpod and to show you some of the basics about it. Well, for starters, to get signed up, you need to go to nearpod.com, and it's real easy. You just sign up right here. You just go teacher sign up. It doesn't cost anything to sign up, but there is a pro account, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So I already have an account, so I'm going to sign in. And since it saves my password here, it just automatically signed me in. This is what you will see whenever you go to your startup menu. You go to your library, which are Nearpods that you have created and saved. If you go to the Explore tab, this is where you can search for Nearpods that other people have created. It's pretty neat, and I'll show you that a little bit later. You have to be careful though. Some of them, a lot of them, sometimes you have to pay for. It ranges from anywhere from $1.99 all the way up to, some of them have entire units that you can buy, and some of those can get up to $30. So it really just depends, but again, there are some free ones that are really nice to use. The join is if you're joining somebody else's Nearpod that's already been created, and I'll go here a little bit later. This is where you can hit your Create tab, which is where you yourself want to create a Nearpod to use in class. The reports is really nice, and I'll get to that at the end. So first of all, I'm going to go to Create a Nearpod for the first time. So whenever I hit Create, it takes me here. I usually give my Nearpod a title in the beginning. And there it is. There's my title for my Nearpod. Adding slides is very simple, and I want to show you something really neat. If you have a PowerPoint that you've been using for years and you really love, Nearpod is really, really neat. So let me show you this. So I'm going to use a PowerPoint that I've already made, and I'm just going to pick up that PowerPoint and just drop it in. And Nearpod is going to load all of my slides from my PowerPoint. So it's loaded the file, and I'm going to hit OK. It's processing my slides, and when it gets finished, they will show up on the screen. You can do, oh, there they are. Okay, so these are all my slides, and again, you can delete slides you don't want. You just can double click on the slide to open it up to see what's on there. You can add an image to what's already here, text, audio if you would like to. And you can also, it's quite easy to just hit the delete button, and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to take this slide away? Yes, I do. Again, quite easy. So the useful feature on this though are the slides that Nearpod will let you create. So if you click the Add the Slide button, you can add content. When you do that, it gives you some choices. You can just add a regular slide that Nearpod creates. You can add a video in here from some real nice YouTube video that you found that goes well with your lesson. Audio, you can add audio into here. You can add a slideshow. They've added some new things recently that are pretty neat. You can do a virtual field trip, a 360. I think it would work really well in history. So you can pick somewhere and do a virtual field trip. And keep in mind, all of this is free. The PDF viewer, I haven't really played with these in live Twitter stream. This is all very new. That's been added within the last 6 months or so. So you can add any of those. I'm just going to add a slide to show you what it looks like. And you can change the image in the background. You can change the text, and you can just put anything you want to here, and you can save it. The real nice thing, it always defaults to the end, but if you just pick up a slide, you can just drag the slide to whatever position you want it to be in your presentation. And of course, like I said, it's quite easy to delete a slide. You can also do, if you think you're in good shape and you like what you created, you can do a preview of your Nearpod. And this is what your students will see as you click through. Again, it works really nice for the iPads that we have because you're in control of the students' iPads. Whenever you move the slide, all their iPads will move together. So it's really handy. And I want to tell you right now, this is what I really like. So I'm going to go back to the add the slide. And instead of content, I'm going to add an activity. And here's the really neat stuff. I can add an open-ended question. So doing that, I can hit save. I can even add an image. And the image, if you already have an open-ended question that has a visual, you'll just use a snip tool on your computer. You can save that image and drop it right here. And the students can click on it to make it bigger. Once I save it, I'll show you what all these look like at the end, but we'll get this to the Alright. Something else you can add that's really neat, and this I use quite often, the draw it. So this is really nice in math because I can see them work out all of their equations and see them circle their answer. So you can type instructions here. What's really nice here, I can add an image, so if I have a math problem that has a visual with it, I can just drop that image right there, or I can drop the image right here, and students can just write on the top of my image. You can browse files, you can add directly from Dropbox, or the box if you're familiar with that. It's really, really nice. I really enjoy the drawing. So I'm going to make that one. Some other things you can do, I don't use quite as often, but they're still really good, is the poll slide. You can type a question for your students, and you can enter in the choices. And they can do this, and they can see the poll. Again, you always have the option to add an image. And save that one. And something that I do use more than I used to is the quiz. So here I can enter in my quiz title, test today, and then I can enter in my questions. And what's real nice are the reports, and these reports are what I'm going to show you toward the end. So doing this, and you can even in real time, you can see the students' answers as they submit them to you. It does a little pie chart in the side showing you percentage of the class that's getting it correct and incorrect, and you can see the students that haven't answered. So it's really, really nice, and you can go back later and pull those reports and either enter them for a grade or assess how you did on your lesson. Here's some new things they just added. Fill in the blank is really nice. The only thing about that, you have to be careful because the students have to enter it in exactly as you did. Right here, the memory test, I really don't know. That's something that's just come out in the last few weeks. I'm sorry, last few months. So it's relatively new. I haven't played around with that one yet. So again, a preview of this. Here's, do you like FHS? And on their iPads, they'll get an option to type. And you can go back later and look at those responses. Another thing that I'll say that I really like about this is the fact that it gives me the ability to walk around the room. Because whenever I'm doing a Nearpod on that day, I have my iPad with me. And once I create my session and make it live, and I'll talk more about that later, then it gives me the ability to move around the room and help students as I'm walking. And I can look down at my iPad and see them sending me answers in real time, and I can walk to their desk and say, well, you just submitted this answer. Let me tell you maybe what you did incorrectly. So I really like it for that, and it's incredibly easy. And once you feel good about it and you've created the Nearpod you like, you just go down to Publish, and you'll have to give it a title. You can give it a description if you like. The grades, you can just select from subjects. You can just choose whatever your subject is. If you pick other, that's fine. And then you hit publish. And then it transfers it into your library, and there it will be forever. Now, I want to tell you, I still have a free version. And I want you to look at all the Nearpods that I have in my library. Quite an extensive collection. And I'm still not upgraded to the paid versions. And I'll talk about that more later. So what I've done in this video is showed you how to create a basic Nearpod. Either creating the slides yourself or using an existing PowerPoint that you have. And I like that because I have some PowerPoints that I really like. So I can add a slide or two for my PowerPoint and then drop maybe a quiz question, or I can drop an open-ended or a draw-it type slide based on the slide PowerPoints that I had just given to the students. So in the next one, we're going to look a little bit more at how you make a session live and what that would look like to the person doing your session.